It's me, Roger. I'm back with a little video where I'm going to share all my little secrets with you. Do you have clean hands? Are you subscribed? So let's not waste any more time. Today we're going to make a bread that's a bit puffy, baked in a very hot oven, and it's really nice. But let's get started right away. So to make this dough, we're first going to make a starter that consists of flour, water, and a bit of cookie dough. We're going to make the starter. For that, we're going to add a little bit more of the water, the flour, and the very small piece of active and live brewer's yeast, baking yeast, and the fermented dough. And we're going to mix that on second speed for 6 minutes. We will start by taking our mixing bowl and setting it to the second speed setting. This will ensure that the ingredients are mixed thoroughly and evenly. We will let it mix for a total of 6 minutes, which is the optimal time for this process. 6 minutes have passed. After the 6 minutes have elapsed, and I'm going to cover this up, and we're going to let this starter sit for about 5 to 6 hours. I'll see you in 5 or 6 hours. The starter is the essential initial component. Approximately 150 grams of white or whole wheat flour, about 100 grams of water, 2 grams of fresh yeast, and 50 grams of fermented dough. We have our starter ready and all the necessary ingredients. A few additional ingredients like more flour, water, yeast, and salt. Now at this point we are going to move on to the dough. It's been a full hour since we initially combined the flour with the water, allowing the mixture to rest and develop. Now, as we proceed to the next step, we are going to carefully incorporate additional flour and water into the existing mixture, ensuring everything is thoroughly blended to achieve the desired consistency. Now we're going to carefully and gently add the yeast and the starter, slowly, step by step. That's been waiting for about 5 hours. There you go, it's quite soft. But that's completely normal for this dough. Alright, so what we're going to do now is take our mixture and set it to the first speed setting on our mixer. We'll let it mix thoroughly for a total of 6 minutes. During this time, you can take a short break or prepare for the next steps. I'll be back to check on it once the 6 minutes are up. 6 minutes on first speed have passed. I'm adding the salt. Of course, it's a very, very soft dough. So, what I'm going to do is allow the machine to operate continuously for a total of 6 minutes, and I'll be setting it to the... And after 4 minutes, I'm going to check that it's separating from the bowl. If not, I'll increase the speed a little so the dough comes off the bowl properly. I'll see you in 6 minutes. It is done indeed. As we had anticipated, indeed, it has finally come off the bowl, just as we thought it would. I'm just going to add enough flour. So, here, because it's a very, very soft dough, I'm going to add a little bit more here too, as needed, just to make sure it's perfect. In order to facilitate the process of ensuring that the dough can easily come together, to make it easier for the dough to come together. As you can see, it's very, very soft. But it's a beautiful dough. Everything came together. A little flour on top of the dough. I'm just showing you that it's really well kneaded. This is to ensure that it is properly and thoroughly kneaded to perfection and ready for the next step. There you go. There you go. So we're letting it rest for half an hour. I'll see you in approximately half an hour. It's been approximately half an hour since our dough was carefully put in this container, so now I'm going to gently fold it, and let's see what happens next in the process of making our bread.
The material is incredibly soft to the touch. I'm going to carefully fold it over in this manner, just like this. Then I'll fold it once more in the same way right here. It's a simple process, but it needs to be done precisely. The result is so-so, but that's exactly what we want. There you go. I'm going to put a little bit of flour and let it rest for another 30 minutes with a cloth on top. After 2 30-minute rests, we're going to fold this dough again. And simply let it just rest for another hour, for a little while longer. This is essential for getting a good weight and a nice internal structure of the bread. So there you go, I'm just adding just a tiny bit more of flour again. A cloth on top and we'll see each other in an hour. It's been just an hour. We can really see that the dough is indeed good. So I'm going to shape it. And you have to be very, very gentle. So I'm going to start by putting a little flour on my table, because this dough is really very soft and very sticky. All right, here we have the item. What I'm going to do now is carefully and gently lift it up, making sure to handle it with care and precision. Then I will proceed to pour it out onto the surface of the table. It's important to do this slowly and without any sudden movements, ensuring that we are not being too rough or hasty with it, as that could potentially cause issues or damage. There you go. At this point, I will take the material and fold it in a specific way. This involves carefully bending it over itself to align with the intended design. This step is crucial for achieving the desired result. Alright, so what we're going to do now is take this item and carefully position it just like this on my baking tray. Make sure it's centered and aligned properly to ensure even baking. This step is crucial for achieving the perfect bake, so take your time and adjust as needed. It's really sticky, but that's how it should be. And now, I'm going to sprinkle it well with flour. There you go. It's going to make a very airy bread. And all that's left is to put this in the oven, which I've already preheated to over 250 degrees. So there you go, I'm putting this in the oven. There we go, I'm putting that in a bit, of course with some steam. A little more steam. Let me explain the process in detail. First, I will add a little more steam to the mixture. And now, my convection heat. Next, I will activate my convection heat setting. I'm going to set this to 180 degrees C for 40 minutes. I am going to set the temperature to 180 degrees. This will be for a duration of 40 minutes. And I'll see you in 40 minutes. I will check back with you after 40 minutes. The recipe. This is the recipe we are following. 220 grams of white or whole wheat flour, 200 grams of cold water, the sourdough, 10 grams of fresh yeast, and 8 grams of salt. We have a freshly and perfectly baked bread that's deliciously crispy and golden brown. Now, all that's left is to let it cool before absolutely savoring the delightful flavor of this wonderful creation. And here's this lovely, slightly puffed bread, really, really good. I wish you a good meal and see you soon for another one. I hope you enjoyed this video. Now you know how to do it. Go ahead, do it. It's not hard. And I'll see you soon for the next video. Goodbye. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, subscribe, share my videos, and thanks for leaving a comment.